Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-Minute Discovery channel. Red Square, a famous symbol of the capital Moscow and the whole of Russia, is not only a famous place but also the brilliant heart of this city. Located in the heart of Moscow, this square has witnessed many historical ups and downs, and in 1990, UNESCO honored it as a World Heritage Site. But what makes Red Square so special? Why is it called Red, a name full of hidden meanings? The answer is not simply because of the color of the tiles here. In fact, this name also reflects a deep and rich history, from important historical events to wonderful architectural works. Red Square is not only a place to preserve the imprint of majestic parades and important political events, but also a witness to development and change over many periods. This is also a must-see destination for those who love to explore culture and history, with prominent structures such as St. Basil's Cathedral, with its colorful domes, and the Kremlin, a symbol of power and majesty. Let's explore Red Square, where every brick, every street corner tells a story, and every step you take takes you through the heroic and great history of Russia and the world. Before going to the content, remember to like and subscribe to support the channel. When you hear the name Red Square, you may immediately think of the color of the surrounding bricks or the connection with the Soviet flag. But in fact, this name does not come from any of those factors. In Old Russian, the word red is not only a color but also means beautiful. Therefore, Red Square actually means beautiful square. Located in the center of Moscow, Red Square is the heart of the capital and a great symbol of the vast Russia. With a length of 695 meters and a width of 130 meters, this is not only a large space but also a place where the most important events of the country often take place. Chosen by the Russian government as the location for grand military parades and important festivals, Red Square has always been the center of historical and cultural moments. Imagine yourself standing in the middle of a square where every step takes you through the glorious and emotional stories of Russia. Red Square is more than just a landmark. It is a place where history, culture and national pride come together to create a truly special and captivating space. Before becoming the iconic symbol it is today, the area that is now Red Square underwent an interesting transformation. In the late 15th century, it was filled with wooden buildings, but due to their flammability, the area was demolished. At that time, it was little more than a pile of rubble, not really forming the square we know today. After the destruction, the area was rebuilt into a bustling marketplace, called Trade Square. Imagine the bustling scene with merchants from all over the world gathering to trade and socialize. Red Square at that time was like a large fair, where bustling commercial activities took place and became an important economic center of Moscow. On major holidays, the square was lavishly decorated, such as on Christmas or important religious holidays in Russia. This was not only a place for trading but also a stage for important public ceremonies, such as the coronation of the Tsars. Over time, Red Square gradually transformed from a market into an important cultural and political center. Initially, the ground of the square was just rough dirt, not paved with bricks or stones. However, by the beginning of the 19th century, the inconvenience of the muddy ground after rain or melting snow caused the merchants to complain. To meet the demand and improve the appearance of the area, the authorities decided to renovate and pave the square, thereby marking the transformation of this place into a more luxurious and formal space. Imagine Red Square through its various stages, from a destroyed wooden structure, to a bustling market, to the majestic and vibrant symbol of Moscow. Every step you take on this square takes you on a colorful and meaningful historical journey. When mentioning Red Square, one prominent building that cannot be ignored is St. Basil's Cathedral, the famous symbol of Moscow and Russia. This church, located in the south of the square, stands out with its unique design like an 8-pointed star, with 8 towers surrounding a main tower. This design choice is not accidental. The shape of the 8-pointed star and the number 8 have many spiritual and religious meanings, associated with the symbol of Jesus' resurrection according to the ancient Jewish calendar. However, behind the magnificent beauty of St. Basil's Cathedral is a tragic story. In the mid-16th century, to commemorate the victory over the Mongols, Ivan the Terrible, the first Tsar of Russia, ordered the construction of a magnificent cathedral. Initially, he planned to build 8 separate churches for each anniversary, but the project was quickly abandoned because the construction did not meet expectations. Ivan then commissioned the famous architects Barma and Postnik to build the structure. With their talent, it took them 6 years to complete a massive and beautiful structure, which became a symbol of Russia. However, instead of rewarding the architects, Ivan the Terrible ordered him to be blinded to ensure that no one could build a structure that surpassed the beauty of St. Basil's Cathedral. This is part of the painful and tragic stories related to this structure. St. Basil's Cathedral not only has a tragic history but also has gone through many trials throughout history. In 1812, when Napoleon occupied Moscow, he was captivated by the beauty of St. Basil's Cathedral and intended to bring it to Paris. However, when the plan failed, he ordered the cathedral to be destroyed. Fortunately, a sudden rain extinguished the fire and saved the cathedral. The second time, in the 1930s, when Lavrentiy Beria, a close aide of Stalin, proposed to demolish the cathedral to make room for parades, Stalin initially refused. However, Stalin later approved the demolition. When the cathedral was threatened with demolition, architect Branasuk strongly objected and threatened to commit suicide in the cathedral. Stalin finally decided to preserve St. Basil's Cathedral and imprisoned Branasuk for 5 years. Today, St. Basil's Cathedral, once the tallest building in Moscow, has become one of the most prominent wonders of Russia. With its beauty and emotional history, it attracts millions of visitors every year, who not only admire its architectural grandeur but also listen to its strange and tragic stories. The second prominent structure on Red Square is the Kremlin, an indispensable symbol of Russian history and politics. The Kremlin has long been associated with power and politics, not only during the Soviet era but also as a symbol of the current Russian Federation government. The Kremlin, which means citadel in Russian, was once a military fortress. Today, it still plays an important role as a political center. During the Tsarist period, it was not only the palace of the Tsars but also the center of the imperial court. Currently, the Kremlin is still the headquarters of the top high-ranking agencies of the Russian Federation. Standing from the Kremlin, you can look straight out to Red Square, feeling the deep connection between these two great symbols. Inside the Kremlin, you will find prominent structures such as the magnificent Kremlin Palace, the majestic Assumption Cathedral, along with the majestic Kremlin walls and towers. The Kremlin Wall, built in the late 15th century, is not only an architectural work but also a defensive wonder. With an average height of 5 to 19 meters and a wall length of up to 3.5 to 6.5 meters, the total length of the wall surrounding the Kremlin is more than 2 kilometers. The sturdy walls and tall watchtowers not only protect the Kremlin but also create an impressive image, reminiscent of the power and majesty of a bygone era. When you set foot in the Kremlin, you not only admire a massive architectural work but also feel its historical power and importance in shaping the politics and culture of Russia. The Kremlin, with its majestic beauty and important role, is a living testament to the splendor and power of Russia through the ages. Another prominent structure on Red Square that cannot be ignored is the Lenin Mausoleum, a very familiar place not only to Russians but also to many Vietnamese. The Lenin Mausoleum was built to honor Vladimir Lenin, who passed away in 1924. Although Lenin expressed his wish to be buried in St. Petersburg next to his parents, the Soviet leader at that time, Joseph Stalin, decided to embalm his body to preserve Lenin's political legacy. Initially, the Lenin Mausoleum was built of wood, but during the years of the Great Patriotic War, it was evacuated to the Ural region for protection. By the 1950s and 1960s, the mausoleum contained not only Lenin's body but also Stalin's, which it was called the Lenin-Stalin Mausoleum, from 1953 to 1961. However, after the Communist Party of the Soviet Union's internal revisions in 1961, Stalin's body was removed from the mausoleum, and the mausoleum only honored Lenin. Since then, the Lenin Mausoleum has been known simply as the Lenin Mausoleum. For the older generation, Lenin remains a symbol of the struggle for a brighter future. Under President Vladimir Putin, the decision to continue preserving Lenin's body in the mausoleum has been maintained, despite mixed opinions about his burial. Today, the Lenin Mausoleum is not only a historical symbol but also a tourist attraction that attracts millions of visitors to Russia. Every year, thousands of people from all over the world come here to admire this structure, deeply feeling the historical imprints and greatness of a bygone era. Lenin's mausoleum, with its majesty and rich history, continues to attract attention and respect from many generations, maintaining an important role in Russia's historical memory. The last iconic structure on Red Square that cannot be missed is the bronze statue of Kuzma Minin and Dmitry Pozarsky. Located right in front of St. Basil's Cathedral, This statue is not only an impressive work of art but also carries a profound historical significance. The statue was erected to honor two great national heroes of Russia, Kuzma Minin, a patriotic merchant, and Dmitry Pozarsky, a general. They were the ones who liberated the city of Moscow from Polish occupation in the 17th century. The statue shows Minin handing over his sword to Pozarsky, a gesture that symbolizes solidarity and strong team spirit. With an impressive height of more than 9 meters, the statue depicts the two comrades standing tall, their eyes both steadfast and full of determination. The bronze statue stands out not only for its size but also for its expressive power, making anyone visiting Red Square unable to take their eyes off it. The statue of Minin and Pozarsky is not only an architectural landmark but also an integral part of Russia's historical narrative, reminding us of the courage and solidarity of those who stood up to oppression. For visitors, it is a powerful symbol of history and national pride, making Red Square a memorable and emotional place. Red Square is not only famous for its great historical buildings but also for its deeply emotional historical events. Among them, the great parades held here always bring a sense of heroism and solemnity, deeply engraved in everyone's mind. At 8 a.m. on November 7, 1941, Red Square witnessed a special and meaningful parade. In the cold and snow of Moscow, the parade to celebrate the 24th anniversary of the October Revolution took place under the direction of Commander-in-Chief Joseph Stalin. His speech, calling on the Red Army to fight tenaciously to liberate all of Europe from fascism, went down in history. The parade, which lasted only 25 minutes, was not only one of the shortest but also the most daring parades in Soviet history. At a time when the Nazi Air Force could attack Moscow at any time, the Red Army soldiers did not return to their units as usual, but immediately went to the front line, defending the fatherland and playing a key role in the victory against Nazi Germany. Another equally famous parade was on June 24, 1945, commemorating the victory over Nazi Germany in the Great Patriotic War. This was the first parade after the victory, with the participation of 12 mixed regiments representing all aspects of the Soviet Army. Each regiment consisted of more than 1,000 outstanding Red Army soldiers, including many Soviet heroes. The Red Army soldiers carried 200 Nazi flags past the podium, wearing gloves to show their indignation towards the enemy, not wanting to directly touch the flags of the invaders. The Nazi flags were then thrown down in front of Lenin's mausoleum, symbolizing the defeat of the invaders. After the parade, these flags were trampled by the White Horse Cavalry, an expressive image of victory. This victory parade was only held 4 times under the Soviet Union, but today, this event is still held every May 9th, the anniversary of the Great Patriotic Victory. And that is the end of the story about Red Square, a place that marked heroic and touching historical events. Thank you for following this story. If you find it interesting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell and share to discover more interesting things with many others. Goodbye and see you in the next stories.